Ezekiel 44. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. There is no other. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And the letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Excuse me. Ezekiel 44. And he brought me back to the outer gate of the set-apart place which faces east, and it was shut. And YahWeh said to me, This gate is shut, it is not opened, and no one enters it, because YahWeh, Elohim of Israel, has entered by it, and it shall be shut. The prince, as prince, he sits in it to eat bread before YahWeh. Excuse me. Coming in by way of the porch of the gate, and going out the same way. And he brought me by way of the north gate to the front of the house, and I looked and saw the esteem of YahWeh filled the house of YahWeh, and I fell on my face, and YahWeh said to me, Son of man, set your heart and see with your eyes and hear with your ears all that I say to you concerning all the laws of the house of YahWeh, and all its Torah, Torot, and you shall set your heart in the entrance of the excuse me, and you shall set your heart in the entrance of the house with all the exits of the set-apart place, and you shall say to the rebellious, to the house of Israel, Thus said the Master YahWeh, O house of Israel, enough of all these abominations of yours that you brought in sons of a foreigner, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my set-apart place, to profane it, my house, that you brought near my food, the fat and the blood, and you broke my covenant because of all your abominations, and you did not guard the charge of that which is set apart to me. Excuse me. But you have set offerings to guard the charge of my set-apart place for you. Thus said the Master YahWeh, No son of a foreigner, uncircumcised in the heart or uncircumcised in flesh, comes into my set-apart place. Even any son of a foreigner who is among the children of Israel, and the Levites who went far from me when Israel went astray, who strayed away from me after their idols, they shall bear their crookedness, and they were attendants in my set apart place as gatekeepers of the house, and attendants of the house, slaying the ascending offering and the slaughtering for the people, and standing before them to attend to them, because they attended to them before their idols, and became a stumbling block to the crookedness to the house of Israel. Therefore I have lifted my hand in an oath against them, declares the Master YahWeh, that they shall bear their crookedness, and not come near me to serve as my priest, nor come near any of that which is set apart to me, excuse me, nor into the most set apart place, and they shall bear their shame and their abominations which they have done. Yet I shall make them those who guard the duty of the house for all its work and for all that has to be done in it. Excuse me. But the priests and the Levites, the sons of Sadak, who guarded the duty of my set-apart place when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall draw near to me to serve me, and shall stand before me to bring to me the fat and the blood, declares the Master YahWeh. They shall enter my set-apart place, and they shall draw near to my table to serve me, and they shall guard my charge, And it shall be when they enter the gates of the inner courtyard that they put on linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them while they attend within the gates of the inner courtyard or within the house. They shall have linen turbans on their heads and linen trousers on their bodies. They shall not gird themselves with sweat. And when they go out to the outer courtyard, to the people, they shall take off their garments in which they have attended, and shall leave them in the set apart rooms, and shall put on other garments. And they shall not set the people apart in their set apart garments, and their heads they shall not shave, nor shall they let their hair grow long. They shall keep their hair well trimmed, and no priest is to drink wine when he comes into the inner court. And they do not take as wife a widow or a divorced woman, but take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or widows of priests, and they are to teach my people the difference between the set apart and the profane, and make them know what is unclean and clean, and they are to stand as judges in a dispute and judge in according to my right rulings, and they are to guard my Torah and my laws in all my appointed festivals, and set apart my Sabbaths, and they are not to defile themselves, nor come near a dead man, only for a father or mother, for son or daughter, for a brother or unmarried sister, they defile themselves, and after his cleansing they count 7 days for him. And on the day that he comes into the inner court of the set apart place to attend in the set apart place, he brings his sin offering, declares the Master Yahweh, and it shall be to them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance. And you give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. The grain offering and the sin offering and the guilt offering they are to eat, and all that is dedicated in Israel is theirs, and the first of all, the first fruits of all, and every contribution of all, and every contribution of all your contributions belong to the priests, and the first of your ground meal you give to the priests, so that a blessing rests on your house. The priests are not to eat any bird or beast found dead or torn to pieces. In fact, none of us are actually supposed to eat any animal that's been ripped apart by another animal. Or like roadkill, stuff like that. We're actually not supposed to eat that at all.